Good evening, folks. This is Andy Pedraza with Special Effects Academy. We're on the start of the week session in the Forex trading room for May 30th of 2021. We will be going through our agenda, look at prior week results, our currency strength meter for the week, any fundamental announcements scheduled, especially if we're going to be trading them. A look at the major pairs on the daily chart, setups we see in progress, and a few words in conclusion. Starting with the ledgers, we had a nice bit of an uptick on the long-term ledger yet again. This account has been growing steadily for the past few weeks. We're up to almost 16.5% as the week closed out. And we had trades carrying profit, which you can see on your screen. There are multiple trades still open on this account. Of course, direction is not guaranteed, so we'll have to see what this new week brings us, but things are looking good. On the intermediate term account, no significant change. The only difference in account size is trading cost or swap for the week. So I don't think we closed anything out. We do have trades moving steadily in our favor, some of them with profit protected as well. So we'll see what the coming week or weeks bring us, but this account also looking with a positive spin. And the short-term ledger has had only one trade open for the last few weeks, and that is the pound Canadian, and had been negative for quite a while. This week, that turned around. We were carrying a nice chunk of profit on that one open trade as the week closed out on Friday. Of course, again, too soon to tell until those trades get closed out. Anything can and could happen. So we'll wait until we can book the profits, but it is starting to look positive again. Notes and opportunities for improvement. We have trending and breakouts on multiple pairs ongoing or imminent, which is always good. Trending markets are when we can make the bulk of our profit for any significant period. It's not that you can't trade sideways markets, but it's not as easy or as profitable as trading a trend. The USD is back to losing ground, as is the Japanese yen, and we have jobs Friday this week with labor reports coming out of the US and Canada. Relative strength meter for the last week, and I've changed the format of this chart. So we now have the currencies on the top and on the side compared to each other. But the important piece of information here will be at the end, the final column with the totals. You can see that the biggest loser, -7, was the US dollar. It lost ground against every other currency out there. The big winner would have been the pound, gaining against 6 of the other currencies and only being flat against the Swiss, followed by the Swiss itself, which gained against 5 of the other currencies. Another loser was, of course, the yen at -4. It lost ground against everybody except the dollar and the Canadian. Curiously enough, it did hold its ground against the Canadian dollar, which had been strengthening very significantly, but this week took a little bit of a breather. You can see that it's at 0. It gained against half of the currencies, lost against the other, well, actually gained against 2, lost against 2, and was flat against the remaining 3. So the cat took a little bit of a breather, but it's still looking very, very strong, as we'll see when we look at the charts. So I hope this format is a little bit easier to grasp when we're looking at the relative strength between the different currencies. We'll see if we keep this one going. Fundamental announcements. We have the interest rate out of the Reserve Bank of Australia on Monday, tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. So it will be after midnight, technically Tuesday, but it's only half an hour after midnight. We will be shifting our evening session to accommodate for this. So we will be starting later than usual tomorrow, Monday. Oh, well, again, Tuesday. It will be Tuesday by that point. And on Friday, we do have the non-farm payroll out of the US and the change in employment out of Canada, both of them early in the morning, 8:30 a.m. US Eastern Time. These 3 events will be traded live. The rest of the announcements do not warrant live trading, but they're there for information purposes. With that, we jump into the charts. Oil is at least a year's high. It's at the very top of the chart, going back all the way through June of last year. I think it's not a 2-year high. There were some higher highs sometime in 2019 or 2018. Well, 2018 would be 3 years, wouldn't it? We'll have to check at a wider view of this chart, but it is at least at a yearly high right now and going strong. The euro against the dollar, it had a very, very bouncy week. In fact, it tried to drop against the dollar. Well, the dollar gaining on the euro for most of the week. That did turn around on Friday, and it ended up slightly higher than where it started, giving another loss to the dollar. But it was very dicey, a very bumpy ride for the euro dollar. A little bit more of a consistent move in the pound dollar. It never gave up any ground throughout the week. While it did go back to where it had started a couple of times, it ultimately ended up higher, and it is on the brink of breaking out of the top of the chart. This is one of those charts that I really like. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for profit on the pound against the dollar, and indeed most currencies against the dollar. USD JPY is our or was our contrarian of the week. The dollar weakened against everybody except for whatever reason the yen. It did not go well for the yen this week. Didn't end up much. Actually, it did. It ended up losing at least 100 pips against the other currencies. It did try to stage a recovery on Friday, trying to come back down, didn't quite manage it. I think this is another chart giving us a very, very big opportunity to trade contrarian. It is going up, and we want to trade it down. I think the USD JPY is going to come down all the way to the bottom, but that will have to wait until the yen actually wakes up. The dollar is already weakening, so if the yen starts catching a tailwind, this chart is just going to drop like a rock. USD Canadian at the very bottommost level of support, and it is a new level of support established within the last few weeks. It had already broken out of the previous bottom. So this one shows no sign of stopping, and we're just waiting to see how far down it can go. USD Swiss trying to drop towards the bottom, but failed midweek, ending the week pretty much where it started. So not a loser by any stretch, but still it started going against the Swiss towards the middle and end of the week. So another opportunity for some extra gains there if the market continues in the expected direction. Of course, trade carefully and wait for the move to begin. Aussie dollar, and I mentioned this before, I'm not too convinced with the Aussie these days. I think it's played itself out. It is not giving up any ground to the US dollar, ending the week pretty much where it began, but still, I would have expected more of a movement, except for the fact that the Aussie has tapped out. I think this one may either go sideways or start going in the dollar's favor and go towards the bottom of the chart. Kiwi dollar right as well. It was a good gainer throughout most of the week, and then on Friday it retraced, but nowhere near where it had begun. So it was still a bullish week for the Kiwi dollar. It's back inside the wedge, and again, I've been expecting a breakout towards the top for quite a few weeks now. This may be the week that we get it, simply because it's always right there at the top of the wedge. So we'll see. That's it for the dollar pairs. As we move into the rest of the charts, Aussie CAD is very near the bottom and very, very bearish. Euro Swiss has gone sideways at a new price range, a very tight one, just below the 110. And it doesn't look like it's going to be moving from there anytime soon. It's gone sideways. Euro pound, also a sideways chart, but showing some signs of bullish action. It's right at the conjunction of support and resistance provided by both the trend line and the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. It will break in one direction or the other. I've no doubt of that. But right now, it's your guess is as good as mine. I still think that this one has a good opportunity of heading towards at least the middle of that chart, so going higher. But again, seeing is believing. Euro JPY in breakout territory broke the top of the chart yet again this past week. And like I said, shows no sign of stopping. It's one of the more established and bullish trends on the charts right now. And we are trading this one and carrying, I think, 200 or so pips, maybe 150 after the retrace on Friday, but still well in excess of 100 pips of profit on the Euro JPY on one of the accounts. Euro CAD is near the bottom of the chart, and I suspect this one will head up simply because the euro is not going to give up much ground. The CAD is getting stronger, but so is the euro. And I think the euro at some point is going to come back and at least take this to the middle of the chart. Pound JPY also in breakout territory or very imminently breaking the very top of the chart. It's been quite a bullish movement. All the JPY pairs, with the exception of the USD JPY, are in this trending period, which shows no sign of stopping. The yen has not been able to catch a break for quite a while. Aussie JPY, same thing, except that the Aussie has been weakening. So it's gone sideways at the very top of the chart, but still not giving up any ground. So the Aussie and the JPY evenly matched for now, coming off a very long running trend from October of last year through at least March before it started going flat. Euro New Zealand going sideways as well as the euro and the Kiwi fight it out. We had a nice bit of a bullish movement on Friday. And well, that's all you can say. It didn't go anywhere near where it had begun the week, so it was still a bearish week for the Euro New Zealand, but it did have a nice retracement on Friday, which we took advantage of. We do have an open trade carrying some profit on a Euro New Zealand long with a very tight stop loss, so we will probably be taken out of that trade very soon. Pound Canadian also going sideways, and my suspicion is that this one will end returning towards the middle or higher of the chart. So another bullish opportunity here, assuming that support continues to hold. And Pound Swiss was completely sideways for the week, and indeed has been sideways for at least the last couple of months. We're still waiting for another push towards the top, but this week, as have all the most recent weeks, was decidedly sideways. And Pound Aussie, one of the bigger, better movers in the pound pairs, with the Aussie losing ground to the pound steadily for the past few weeks. And this has been a massive push towards the top. It's lacking about, I'm going to say, 100 pips to get to the very top of the chart, and would not surprise me if it breaks out and keeps going. So that's where we are right now. A channel cross completed, and we're waiting for the next movement of this pair, whether a continuation or a bounce. That's it for the charts this time around. Setups we see in progress. Of course, the pound continues trending bullish. The USD is dismal. The Australian pairs are starting to weaken. Looks like they've hit the ceiling. Even if they stay at that level, it doesn't look like it'll be getting any stronger. So it's just a matter of time before it does start going in the opposite direction. The yen had a terrible week. There's no way of sugarcoating that. And again, I'm very puzzled as to why the yen is in so much trouble. But I'm not here to understand the market. I'm here to make profits. So we did trade it in the direction of yen weakness, and we made a bundle last week on multiple trades. So all good. And Canadian pairs, the Canadian is at its strongest in several years. We're now waiting to see if it's going to fully break out, or probably could be go sideways, but my money is still on it getting stronger. I don't think it's been played out. Oil is getting stronger. The Canadian is correlated very strongly with oil, and well, all the other currencies that matter to the Canadian economy are having issues, like the US dollar and the yen. So The Canadian is probably going to shine for at least the remainder of, I think, the year. But we'll see what happens. We'll keep everybody posted as things do evolve. Okay, that is it for the main part of the presentation. Final words here, great times, and I've been alluding to this for the entire presentation. Multiple currencies are poised to break out or are strongly trending. Add to that the current geopolitical and economic outlooks among the major economies, and you have a recipe for economic disaster, unless you're a trader. When the markets are moving, we don't care in which direction. And when they're trending, we can make years of profit, sometimes in months. We have to take advantage of these times. They don't come more often than every 5 to 10 years. So take advantage. If we act correctly, we're going to be staying alert, trading carefully, but trying to squeeze the most out of one of the best markets I've seen in the last 10 years. Remember, the trend is going to be your friend until it ends. That is it for me this time around. We look forward to seeing everybody as we kick off the trading week. Any comments or questions before we drop off? Okay, folks, that's it for me then. Thank you very much. We'll be sending out a summary and a recording very shortly to our subscribers and the rest of you guys. Hope you join us one day, but you will find a recording on YouTube. Thanks. Take care.